Brian Mast is a GOP congressman from Florida, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and also a member of the House Transportation Infrastructure Committee. Thank you so much for talking to us. Okay, let's talk about Mayorkas' words. He says that undocumented immigrants were, quote, promptly removed if their claims don't prevail, he said. The Washington Post, in fact, says the opposite, that 1 million people who entered the country without proper documents have actually been given deportation orders, and they still have not left. So the question is, does Mayorkas suffer from fuzzy math, or is he flat out lying?
Well, let's take the sentence before that one as well. They will immediately be placed into immigration enforcement proceedings. Well, yeah, that's true. And what are the administration's version of proceedings? It's take them into the country by a law enforcement officer under Homeland, then put them on a bus, make sure to give them some health care as well, put them on a bus and send them somewhere else around the country to appear at a court date sometime later in the future, maybe 2 or 3 years in the future, maybe never. That's what immediately placed into immigration enforcement proceedings actually looks like. So he's not lying. He's just not telling you the truth right there. Where he does start to lie is to say when anything is actually prompt.
Right.
It's not.
I mean, I try to teach my kids not to lie.
They like to mince words like that.
Definition would be not telling the truth. But who am I to say? Critics
Well, this is the guy in charge of Disinformation Governance Board, right?
That is true.
The head of that.
I know. I actually love that title, Misinformation Board. Yeah, they should. They like corner the the policy on misinformation. But anyway, critics of the Biden administration border policies say that their abandonment of ICE detention centers in favor of electronic monitoring are called alternatives to detention, is what they call it. That it's only exacerbating an ongoing crisis at the southern border. You lump that in with the possibility of the eradication of Title 42 later this month, and what do you get?
Yeah, you get this problem. Let me bring you to something that happened last week. So I sit on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I get a lot of delegations from foreign countries. They're members of parliament, secretaries of different parts of their government, you name it. I had a delegation in from Guatemala last week into my office, and they were literally blaming the Biden administration for what's going on in their country. They say, listen, these coyotes, they come on TV, they run ads saying, if you give us $5,000, $10,000, look at this ad of what Joe Biden is saying, we can get you into the United States of America, no questions asked. This is what the Guatemalan delegation is telling us is the problem as Americans and what's being aired on their TV. This problem is going across borders, and it is because of Joe Biden.
Yeah, there's a recent poll that I want to put up on the screen that shows that the majority of Americans say now is not the right time to end the Title 42 border policy. When asked, is now the right time? Most Americans, 57%, say now is not the time to end the Trump-era Title 42 border policy. I mean, of all times to end this thing, why now? I mean, what are they trying to prove?
Well, this is the only COVID policy that Democrats want to get rid of, is the one that keeps people from coming into America illegally. It's the only one they want to get rid of. Otherwise, they want to make sure you continue to wear masks, that you're kicked out of the military if you don't get a vaccine still, and other things like that. This is the only one they want to get rid of. Why? Because they fundamentally believe in open borders, in letting people come across those borders without getting a COVID test or anything else, without worrying about the drugs they bring across, the fentanyl, the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, everything else that's going along with it. They don't worry about those things. It's an America last policy. It's exactly the opposite of what Donald Trump had in place with America first policies, remain in Mexico, and that's just where that party is at. People try to understand, well, why would they do this? That's why. That's where their party is at. They're the party of open borders.
Yeah, and you open the border, they will come and they will die here because, as you know, you've seen reporting here on this channel how migrants are drowning by the dozens, by the hundreds. People being killed or losing their lives by coming into this country. We're allowing it to happen. It's a humanitarian crisis, to say the very least. Congressman Mast, thank you very much for talking to us.
All the best.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.